Hey guys, welcome back. I want to do a little video because of, well, air pollution stuff. And air pollution stuff indoors, stuff that doesn't have to run. You talk about air purifiers or things that have to run on some type of electricity, or you have to buy components to update, to replace and things like that. I want to give you natural things for several different reasons, and then something for outdoors. I do want to say one of the biggest, every year, tons, plant as many as you can. And whenever I do some gift thing, I make sure I send a huge pack of different types of sunflowers, the seeds for that. Sunflowers, plant them if you're able to. Plant them all around your home in thicker amounts of sunflowers everywhere. I always make sure I keep and randomly put sunflowers throughout my garden as well. They will not hurt anything in there. And the reason why is sunflowers are one of the best things that are natural like that to absorb radiation. Some other things too, like arsenic, uranium, things like that, that could be, I don't know, sprayed down and stuff, things like that. And that is one I tell people, I'm like, abundance, like every year, all the time, as much as you can. Now, if you have a situation where, like, I know these sunflowers have absorbed a ton of said toxin, because they will a little bit anyways, then say there was an event, I would not recommend eating those seeds. Okay, now you can save those seeds and replant those seeds and reuse them if you want, but I wouldn't recommend consuming them if you know there was a heavy toxin load that you primarily only use that for. We put them in our garden and everything because it also takes a lot of toxins, radiation, arsenic, uranium, all that type of stuff. It removes it from the ground. If you have like ponds and water things away, it will remove that as well, and help that situation from it becoming a contamination issue or absorbing it. Because in Chernobyl and Fukushima, they both of those disasters that went on, they used sunflowers to absorb after the nuclear disasters that they have. So that's air, soil, ponds and things like that. Of course, depending on the abundance amount that you plant, it's going to make a bigger difference. But if you have areas where you can put I call them a wall of sunflowers is what we do. What I can is in certain areas around your home, your land, whatever, I always make sure, put them throughout your garden as well, because that is going to also make sure you're protecting your soil that's around the food, what you have in the ground that you're going to consume and eat. It's just a protective, and how I am about preventive stuff, and it's already in place in case something happens. So that's my number one about things like that. And that's like an outdoor thing. It's going to be your sunflowers. Now for indoor, there's a lot of toxins indoors. Now, if you're still using a ton of chemicals inside and air fresheners and those plug-in things and heavy chemicals cleaning, well, there's a lot of toxins, but there's other toxins that can, like the same ones. If they're outside, they will get in. Nothing is completely seal proof, but there's a lot of toxins that can build up in our homes. And especially if you're stuck in the winter months, or you're in a shift situation and something's going on, you need these. Now, please understand and remember, majority of houseplants are extremely toxic if they are eaten by people. If you have little kiddos, if you have, toddlers, anything like that may eat any of that, you need to be very careful, or say, it's not worth the risk. Especially, there's a lot of them also that are poisonous to cats. Like one of the ones on my list is a peace lily. They are extremely toxic to cats as well. Humans also don't eat those things. But one, I think I want to recommend and they're super easy to grow. They're low maintenance. I think it should be in everyone in your home's bedroom, and that is a snake plant. Sometimes I call it a mother-in-law's tongue or something like that. Snake plant. They're super easy to grow. They produce the highest amount of oxygen, especially at night. And so that should be in everyone's bedroom, because you can be like shallow breathers and different things at night, but you want that higher oxygen that they release more so at night. And I think it should be in everyone's bedroom. Snake plants, I will list these below, little notes, in case you need them. Other indoor things that absorb, these are really, really good for absorbing toxins, is bamboo palms or lady palms. Either one of those, they help. The peace lilies, again, it is very, very toxic and poisonous to cats. All these are poisonous to people as well. Don't eat them or your animals or anything. But peace lilies can remove up to, they said, at least 8 different chemicals and toxins. And so we've had those a lot in our homes, and they're really easy to grow. You know, a lot of houseplants, every once in a while you take them outside, go set them out on the porch, let them get some sunshine and stuff like that. But usually they don't take a ton of, you know, direct sun and things like that. Spider plants are wonderful for absorbing toxins and purifying your air as well. They don't like to be really high up. Like for many years ago, I was like, every time I'd bring in my spider plants, they would die, and I would put them up high so the kiddos and stuff couldn't get them when they were little. And I would put them like on top of our china cabinet, and they would not do well. They don't like to be extremely high up. I don't know why, but they just don't like that. Aloe vera is another really good one. Now, aloe vera has other benefits as well. Isn't toxic unless you're allergic to aloe vera. That's another good one that will help purify the air and remove toxins and stuff like that. They're really good to have in your home. Super easy. Those are good ones to keep in your kitchen as well. They absorb all that. Rubber plants, again, poisonous, but they are really good. Now, things like with the rubber plant and the snake plant, every once in a while you want to take like a damp cloth and wipe their leaves off, because if they get dust that builds up on them, they're not going to be able to produce and do what they need to do as far as absorbing toxins or releasing the oxygen. You just wipe those off with a damp cloth. No big deal, because of the way their leaf structure are. Ferns are another really good one to have inside for purifying your air. Different types of ferns. There's a whole bunch of different ones, and they usually grow pretty easy. English ivy is really good to have in for, it's known to get rid of mold. Like if you have like mold and like mold spores that could be in the air, it's good at eliminating those toxins, in which you don't want anything like that. Some people always put English ivy, and they have ones in their bathroom somehow. They have that up, or area that that could be more, you know, prone to having mold issues or something like that. That's good. Now, if you see visible mold, you need to clean that with like tea tree oil or vinegar. Do not ever use bleach on mold. It creates a different type of toxin, and it does not kill it. It may get rid of it when you see on the surface, but bleach with mold, it makes a different type of toxin, and it does not get rid of it. It does not. You want to use something like vinegar or tea tree oil or something like that to get rid of mold if you have it. But these different types of house plants, some of the ones, there's plenty of other things, a lot of these different types of house plants, and these are the ones like I use and recommend, is why I went with this list. They are, and even NASA themselves has come up and said, because I went and double checked what the latest percentage was, states that they can remove over 85% or more of toxins from the indoor air within 24 hours. So, and if you have an abundance amount, it depends on the size of the room that you're doing and how many you have. That can vary a little bit. But I think this is important. We don't need to be bombarded with other things. If you're stuck inside a lot, winter months, or because of the activity in the skies and things that are going on, we're going to see a lot more of these toxins, and they get trapped in our house more, because you think, oh, I'm not going to open the windows because, things are bad looking outside. It's coming in anyways, but it does get trapped more in your home. And anything with the oxygen, snake plants, I cannot say enough good about having snake plants in your bedroom. That is, and just really important. There's other things you can use, like, a big thing about removing toxins, poison, food poison, ingested poison, illness, you name it, from if somebody ODs or something like that, is activated charcoal. That works really well in our bodies to bind that and remove it. They use it all the time in hospitals and things like that. Something everyone should have on, external, internal. That was something I used when I had that copperhead bite. I used that. But the thing is, with activated charcoal internally, you have to remember, you have to replace your minerals, because it'll strip all of it out. And it can be very dangerous. You don't use it for long periods of time. You don't do that. It can be very dangerous. But also, if you have activated charcoal, or if you have charcoal pieces, and you can make your own charcoal. I think Huckleberry and I are going to do a video not too long from now. We're going to do one of making your own charcoal. He does that because he does blacksmithing, and so a lot of times he makes his own charcoal, like from wood charcoal. Anything, don't get the charcoal that's the grill charcoal that has like lighter fluid and stuff. That's not what I'm talking about. But if you have that, setting a bowl of different things like that around your home and different things, that can absorb, well, it does absorb odors and stuff like that, but that can also absorb different types of toxins. I just think it's important to help, and I just think that, how much I can say on here. There's just a lot more going on with that, and people are being more bombarded. There are studies, again, they're just things I'm trying to put out aren't going up. There are more studies that are saying that certain toxins are like way higher than they normally were, and they're doing testing in outdoor air and then in the indoor air, and it's through the roof within the last 5 days and the last, I think it was like 36 months or something like that. So again, natural way to help for many benefits. Sunflowers outside, put them in your garden, around your house. You can do a wall of sunflowers in different areas. It's going to help you. And especially where you're going to be. I am big on also putting sunflowers where you're going to do your grounding. You take off your shoes, your earthing, grounding, whatever you want to call it, because you know that it's been pure, and you just do those in rotations. And even like when our season's off, if we do sunflowers, a lot of people will do that. You'll see they had a garden, and then they do like nothing but thick amount of sunflowers, and then they let those, go through, and then they turn it up. They're purifying their soil and stuff like that. So it's something I hope helps you guys. Of course, if you have questions, feel free to email me. Something I hope helps you guys. Everyone stay well, God bless, and I will see you next time.